We'll take you back to our main story tonight. South Africa's unemployment rate has hit a new record high of 34.9% in the third quarter of this year. That's from 34.4% in the previous quarter. At 34.9% then, the unemployment rate is at its highest level since the start of the quarterly labour force survey in 2008. Joining us to talk about this, we're joined by the Centre for Economic Development and Transformation's Duma Gqubule and youth development activist Bongiwe Dlutu. A very good evening to you both. Thank you so much for your time. Duma, if I can begin with you, what are the short and long-term implications of this crisis?
Okay, let me just start by saying the figures show that the unemployment rate for youth is 77.4%. For black Africans, it's 51.1%. For black African females, it's 55.6%. In the Northern Cape, in Limpopo and the Eastern Cape, it's 54.5%. In the Northwest, it's 52%. So what I'm saying is that we are in an unviable society. This unemployment crisis is a national disgrace. It's the most heartbreaking betrayal of the hopes and dreams of our liberation that so many people fought for and died for so very long. And I think if you just look at it differently, between December 2008 and September 2021, the economy has shed 487,000 jobs, and the labor force has grown by about 6.1 million people. Therefore, the number of unemployed people since December 2008 has increased by 6.5 million people. We now have 46.6% unemployment for people of all races. We are heading towards 50% unemployment. And if you look since the lockdown, we have lost 2.1 million jobs. We have lost jobs in every sector of the economy since the lockdown. So what I'm trying to say is that it's so easy to predict the unemployment numbers. The government has been implementing the wrong policies every year, consistency since December 2008. And it's obvious, every time I predict, the numbers will go up. The question is, what will it take for the government to change its irrational austerity policies and also the raising of the interest rates by the Reserve Bank? What will it take? We now have 12.5 million people who are unemployed. Will it take 13 million, 14 million, 15 million people to get unemployed? And the final thing I want to say is that there is no plan to get us out of this crisis. That is even more disturbing.
Bongiwe, let me bring you in. Are all the solutions in policy, as someone who works with young people who are the worst affected by unemployment in this country?
Thank you. I think the policies doesn't work for young people in South Africa because each and every year South Africa talk about unemployment, and the problem is with the government. They implement programs for youth unemployment, but they don't have strategies to do that. They do it in a wrong way. And when they are canvassing, it is very convenient for them to mention unemployment thing, but there is nothing they are doing. Thank you.
And Bongiwe, when you look at, it's one thing to talk about the full number of people who don't have work in this country, right? But what is even more devastating is the rising number of people who are saying they simply have no hope of finding work and have therefore given up. That figure is up by more than 540,000 in this latest report. In your work, how many young people do you come across who say, I'm not even looking anymore because it's just not going to happen?
I would say it's 90% of them. And I'm one of them also. And that's why I've decided that instead of going and look for a work, we must start something, maybe plant gardens, because there are no jobs. And we don't trust